Live here in sunshiny Los Angeles, California at the Konami Esports Studio for a very fun day of Yu-Gi-Oh! Action ahead of us. I'm your host, you can call me Kangas, and I'm joined by the legend himself, Billy Brake.
Thank you, Kangas. Always a pleasure commentating with you. We've had you at some of our recent YCSs, the NAWCQ, but that's TCG. Before we jump into the Master Duel thing, I do want to make one quick announcement about the trading card game, and that's the Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG Forbidden Limited List will be updated this Saturday. That's right, this Saturday. But today, we're here for Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel in the Shadow Duelist Tournament.
Fantastic news coming up in the future, but for right now, ahead of us, you're right, Shadow Duelist Tournament. All month, we have been receiving hints and teases as to who is behind the mask of Nocturne. I gotta say, it's been grinding my dual disc the entire time trying to guess who it possibly could. The community has been weighing in on that as well, but so far, we still are uncertain of who it is. Who could be Nocturne behind that mask?
Yeah, this is something really exciting. I mean, it's something unique, something new.
Oh, sorry, everybody at home. We'll try and get that looked into, get it fixed. I think it's the weather outside. It's
it was a little. I mean, it's that
California
weather.
Yeah.
You can never trust it.
Yeah, it's a little crazy.
But
let's catch everybody up on what's been happening so far in the tournament, because this is the finals that we're getting into today, but we did have action all day yesterday. Shout out to Rhymestyle and Syriax, who are hosting on their channels what was going on, because the tournament format, this is a pretty big event. There were a lot of high-level duelists that were competing here, Billy.
Yeah, definitely. It started with almost 400 players, and they cut down to a top 32, where we got to watch that on Syriax and Rhymestyle's live stream, as you mentioned. And going into the top 8, there's Worlds competitors from Master Duel that almost made it to those final matchups point. There's definitely stacked with really good players.
Yeah.
It was fun to watch yesterday.
And it was all put together by one Shadow Duelist, who, again, we've been talking about for the last month, Nocturne, the person behind the mask. It all started off with initial social media posts, then there were these clues that would come out here. So as we're going to be taking a look at some of the action that happened throughout the last month, the question on everybody's mind is who could be behind the mask. Now, I know a lot of people think that they know who it is, but nobody knows for certain. All we know is that this is the mask, and this is what everyone is competing for today.
Yep, definitely. This is a new Yu-Gi-Oh! Event, as we've been talking about. It's something really cool. Something we don't really do stuff like this, and now we're having all these to bring people from all around the world to compete, to try and decipher who is behind that mask. And now we have two finalists. One of them will be able to reveal the celeb and win that mask.
Exactly. It's a great prize to pick up. The mask, it looks incredible from what we've seen so far. But more than the mask, who is Nocturne? Who is this duelist? I want you to reveal yourself as quickly as possible, but unfortunately, I don't have that power, I've been told. That's going to come down to whoever wins the Shadow Duelist Tournament to actually reveal it, because I got to say, this has been one of the craziest events that we've had all year.
Yeah, definitely. I've been following along all month, reading the clues, trying to guess who it was, and we got to watch the tournament yesterday. It's really been an exciting Shadow Duelist Tournament, and now we finally get to find out who is behind that amazing mask. I mean, and the prize of that mask, it's just incredible.
But if there's anything that bends my cards, Billy, it is somebody who's unwilling to show their face at a dueling table. They're not willing to let us know who they are, and to me, I don't know. I'm not sure what to make of all of that, but this is the bracket for the top 4 at least. We did see these play out yesterday, so shout out to Get Money Ace and Victor Lee, who made it to the semifinals, but were not able to get that final victory.
Yep, Fictinium was able to win over Get Money Ace, and Red Tech No Tenor.
Sorry, everybody, again, just please bear with us right now. We're not sure what's going on. Somebody got to check the antenna. Did I just hear the door lock?
I sure hope not. Are we trapped in here?
I certainly hope not as well, but we'll look into that in a moment.
We need these duelists to help us.
We do need these duelists to help us, because the sooner we can discover who Nocturne is, I think the sooner we're going to be able to get out of here. But
very true.
Yeah, the whole event has been shrouded in mystery. It's been shrouded in disguise, intrigue, and at the end of the day, we will get our answers in one more best of 3, because these finalists will be moving on to see who gets to win the mask and reveal the person behind Nocturne.
Yeah, I really can't wait to see if it's going to be Fictinium or Red Tech No Tenor. One of these duelists is going to walk away with the first place.
But we do have some clues to cover, so let's actually bring our attention to those. We have been revealing some of these throughout the last month, so this is everyone's last opportunity, really, to take the clues that we've seen so far and then make their guesses. We're going to take our time to go through these and see how many people think that they are confident in who it is. Up first, clue number 1, Nocturne once planned to teach the art of language language before stepping onto a different stage.
I've got nothing but the ultimate respect for anyone who's thinking about getting into the teaching career and path. That means he must be a master of something to be able to want to teach it to others.
Makes sense that they're a duelist if they can read. So that's already
More or
step
less.
number 1. Let's take a look at clue number 2 here. In their youth, Nocturne donned fighter's mitts as a different sort of duelist.
Interesting. We do have some duelists that have mitts.
Battle and boxers?
Battle and boxers.
Maybe a battle and boxer duelist.
Could be.
Are there any celebs that played battle and boxers? We'll have to wait and see. Clue number 3. Let's take a look at the next one here. A reminder at home, if you're in chat right now, spam who you think all of these apply to, because these are all correct clues. So it has to be somebody that these all apply to. Nocturne possesses many fiendish familiars. Fiendsmith player?
Animals of some sort. Maybe fiendish chain. I'm just using these words.
That's an old school card. I guess
is.
by our current standards now. All right, well, clue number 3 in the books. Let's take a look at clue number 4 ahead of us here. Nocturne is cloaked in shadow and draped in cloaked and draped. What are they, like a fashion icon? Maybe they work for like a brand or something?
Could be melody. Maybe thinking about tunes, something in sync with each other. Draped in melody. Interesting.
I don't know if I put too much stock into that one. Let's take a look at the next hint, though. Next clue, number 5. And that clue coming up here on our screen shortly. Oh, maybe it's not. Okay, what's going on? What the? No, it's Nocturne.
What are you doing here? Oh, man, I just can't believe Nocturne is actually here.
I'm at a loss for words. Nocturne, the Shadow Duelist, has, I guess, joined the broadcast. Nocturne, was all that static that was happening, was that you?
Just so ominous.
I guess so. I guess it was. Nocturne, if you can hear us right now, why are you doing all of this? Why did you bring us all here today? I'm not sure if we're able to hear that right now on the stream, but I believe Nocturne is trying to communicate with us, and the glitching is still happening. So Nocturne, oh my goodness, this is a lot to take in.
Are you hearing Nocturne?
I have not heard what Nocturne has been trying to communicate to us yet, but what we've heard from at least all the clues and everything happening is that Nocturne has brought us here to see who is worthy of unmasking the person behind the mask. So
this is the mastermind of the Shadow Duelist Tournament, standing behind the desk, ominously waiting to see who's going to unmask him. Just incredible.
Yeah.
I can't believe Nocturne's actually here. I mean, now it makes sense why we're trapped in here, but one of these two duelists needs to save us.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what's going on right now, but Nocturne, one thing's for certain, and that is the person behind the mask has joined us on broadcast, and I'm a little worried, Billy. I think that door did lock. Nocturne, not along. Are we not allowed to leave until we crown a winner today?
No.
This is correct.
Well, there we have it. And now, Nocturne, we have you as well. Is it also correct that you brought us here today to determine who is worthy of unmasking you?
Indeed.
Okay. Well,
Scary, scary voice.
Lot to take in, Billy, but I suppose we do still have a show. Oh, that's terrifying. We have the rest of the show to get through, so let's try our best here, because we do still have to introduce the finalists that will be playing against each other in that finals. Nocturne, I do have one other question for you, and that is, why did you bring us here for this tournament? Why did you want to determine who could unveil your mask?
Simply to appease me.
Appeasement?
Simply to appease.
Oh, man. Who is going to...
That is a twisted mentality, Nocturne.
They've got to have some fantastic duels to really go through here and win this mask.
Yeah, locking us in a room, putting this entire tournament together, and forcing people to compete just for the appeasement of the duelist behind the mask.
The Shadow Duelist, who does like Yu-Gi-Oh!, so we'll have to see if we can put on a show for him.
Well, I was talking about that finals bracket. Let's take another look at it here. And now we see the mask lit up. It will be Fictinium versus Red Techno Tenor. as the finalists today, competing for that opportunity to win that mask that you see on your screen.
Yeah, it was not easy for these players to get to this point. 9 rounds of Swiss yesterday, top 32 where it becomes single elimination. They had to win at least 6, like 11 rounds minimum to make it this far, including the single elimination portion after the top 32.
Yep.
And now they're here all the way in the finals.
That's basically a YCS, I believe, right? I mean, essentially.
Yeah, essentially a one-day full YCS. It was not an easy feat. These people didn't just stumble into it. They didn't win a lottery and find their way into the finals. This was based on their duel skills, and they're going to need it if they want to appease the Shadow Duelist.
Yeah, but this time around, what they're bringing home will be a beautiful mask, as well as the pride of being the one to unmask the person who has been a menace to the community for the last month. Everyone's trying to figure out who this Shadow Duelist is, why we were all brought here, clearly for the appeasement of Nocturne themselves, but also walking away with that mask is going to be a beautiful prize.
Definitely. It's something that's going to be almost one of a kind, something that only the winner is going to get. And now it looks like we're ready to jump into it. It's game number 1 of our finals of the Shadow Duelist Tournament.
And it looks like we have Nocturne, the Shadow Duelist themselves, joining us. Nocturne, will you be casting the games alongside us?
I will. Let the games begin.
Indeed, let them begin. It's time to duel one more time for this tournament as the match starts. I love the marshmallow mate here from Fictinium.
That is beautiful, first of all. Nocturne, can we get your thoughts here? Fictinium versus Sveti, you brought them here for your appeasement. Which side of the board are you favoring right now just based on aesthetics?
Careful, Fictinium, lest you become lost in the shadows.
Well, I think that you might have actually been spot on right there. I think that we'll figure out what was going on with the connection in the game number 1.
Might have just loaded the wrong deck, because that can happen.
Could be a myriad of reasons. We'll hear from the tournament officials shortly and then keep everybody at home updated. But for now, at least, we did see the prettier side of the board that I believe Nocturne agreed with. Was able to take that quick one.
Marshmallow Mate, that's one of my favorite things about Master Duel, is because, you're playing the same game, Yu-Gi-Oh! That you know on a digital platform. You can access it anywhere, your phone, iPad, all the consoles, Steam. You can play Yu-Gi-Oh! Anywhere at all times. But the mates, that's something new and unique. You get to actually have, when your favorite character's right there alongside of you, you get to click them, they do a little thing. The best part is when you lose, they have like a losing animation that makes me want to win the next game, because I always feel so bad letting my mate down. I use the Scareclaw Lightheart mate, and he just looks so disappointed in me when I lose. So definitely having the mates is one of my favorite parts. So I'm going to go with the Marshmallow mate if I had to pick a side right off just based upon...
Not a Dark Magician fan? That's what was on the other side, right?
No, Marshmallow all the way.
All right, well, I use at least both Yu-Gi cards. That is one of the cool things of Master Duel compared to TCG is, of course, all of the cool aesthetics that go alongside in the game client itself, which makes the World Championship even more fun to watch as well, because you get to see what everyone picks for that, and that's coming up right around the corner, too.
Yeah, I think right now you can log into Master Duel and pick your team that you think is going to win the Master Duel World Championship. I won't tell you my pick. I'm going to keep that secret, but I'm definitely going
unbiased.
But I'm going to go with, I'll give you a hint that I'm going with a team. I'm going with a team that has been there before. Okay, and there's a couple of teams that played at last year's Master Duel World Championship, a couple coming back. That's what I'm looking at, but there's definitely some strong contenders on all of the teams.
Yeah, well, Worlds is coming up shortly, but update for everybody, it was simply a disconnect from one of the duelists, so that will not be a game loss. We are back into duel number 1, and right as I say it, Nocturne's back on our screen. It's a jump scare every time, and maybe we have not actually sorted out the issues yet, but we should be through them shortly, so bear with us, everybody. Tournament organizers are working
Sorry,
with us.
Nocturne, please don't keep us in this room longer than we have to. Our most humble apologies, Nocturne. We are not worthy. We are sorry that this has happened.
Nocturne, can you confirm, did you break our satellite in order to hack into the stream?
I may have tampered with your satellite.
Okay. Well, we'll
gotta get that satellite
adjust
back
the screws.
online.
Yeah, we gotta send our engineers up there and make sure that the antenna's pointed in the correct direction.
Someone's on the roof right now. Finding that right angle for the
in
dish.
a rocket ship on the way there. All right, well, Nocturne, while we have you here, I suppose we can at least ask you a couple of more questions. I don't want you to give away too much information, as you are the Shadow Duelist, and the winner of the duels today will get the honor of taking your mask off. But what can you tell me, anything at all, about why you want to be the Masked Duelist right now? What made you want to host this tournament other than appeasing you? I know you said that, but give me something else. Did you just want to see the best duels? Did you want the community to come together? Anything, Nocturne.
I would like to game a worthy champion.
Okay. It's about the game. It's just about the love of the game, I suppose. I mean, Nocturne, I want to dislike you because, again, you're wearing a mask as opposed to showing your true face, but I do respect that, at least bringing the community together for this event.
Yeah, and I'm on the opposite side of Kangas. I love you. I was so happy that you joined us. You have this mask, and you got to bring players from all around to compete in this tournament. Because I like nothing more than a good competition. I've been going to Yu-Gi-Oh tournaments pretty much my whole life, and now that we're all here doing this exciting thing, thank you, Nocturne. You are our humble and gracious Shadow Duelist. Thank you so much.
Well, Nocturne, since we are waiting for the duelists to get back into game number 1, let's hear your opinion on the mates that you can use in Master Duel. What is your favorite deck mate to have next to you while you're dueling?
My favorite deck mate. That's a hard question.
They're going to do something classic. It's going to be Blue Eyes or Dark Magician, I'm telling you.
Probably.
Yeah?
Blue Eyes, White Dragon.
Oh, Blue Eyes White
It's
Dragon.
a classic.
I mean, few have faced such an engine of destruction and lived to tell the tale. That is for sure.
True. That's a classic one, and it wasn't the Dark Magician, which is what we saw on the other side there. And again, thank you for bearing with us, everybody. We are allowing the duelists time to reconnect and rebuild the lobby. There was just a connection issue going on. Nocturne's hacking into the stream has really thrown a wrench into all of our wires here. But we are talking about Worlds coming up around the corner. Nocturne, I want to ask you, are you excited for the World Championship of Yu-Gi-Oh! 2024?
I am indeed extremely excited for this event.
Oh, good to hear. I'm also extremely excited about it, but good to hear that Nocturne's going to be watching as well, because it's coming up so soon.
It is. It's coming up in just over a week's time. And Nocturne, what do you think is more prestigious? Attending the World Championship or being in this tournament which you are hosting for the chance of unveiling your mask?
Why, of course, it is this championship. Nothing else compares.
The most classic Nocturne answer you could ask for. I mean, clearly, the person behind the mask views himself so highly that they think it's above Worlds. What do you think, Billy? I mean, this is prestigious.
I'm thinking it could be Seto Kaiba. Likes Blue Eyes White Dragon. His tournament's the most important.
That's
I'm looking
a good
at Kaiba.
guess. That is a good guess. Nocturne, is your favorite anime character, does it happen to be Kaiba?
It may be Kaiba.
It may be. Kaiba.
It may be. That would check out. That does all add up. All right, everybody, I'm hearing that we're going to attempt another time to get into game number 1, so cross your fingers alongside me in chat so we can get underway. It is a best of 3 ahead of us here, and I do see gameplay on the board. There we go.
All right, and it looks like Shetty is playing the same deck from yesterday, starting with the Centurion Primera, which is met by a Gamma, which is going to be met by an Ash Blossom, and then an Effect Veiler to still cut off the Primera from getting things started.
That is a long chain link to kick things off here in the duel. But Nocturne, because now we are properly into it, I want to give you one more chance to kick us off here. We're into game number 1.
Welcome to game number 1.
Thank you, Nocturne. We're happy to be here. So, Centurion is a synchro-based strategy, trying to get to level 12 synchros that'll further advance your strategy. We see all the effect negation trying to stop this Primera. When you Ash Blossom Gamma, it's pretty good because you are stopping it from resolving, but it's not once per turn. You're only negating that effect. So they're still going to be able to use Gamma later on in the turn. So that's what Fictinium is thinking about here. Does he stop this Magnamut? Magnamut does represent a level 6 monster, which could have access to a level 10 synchro.
Yep.
So this is where the first decision-making is coming into play of the first game.
And the level 10 Synchro suite is still very powerful in Master Duel. We do have access to things like Baronne de Fleur, which may be on the card, so we do see Fictinium make the decision.
Yep. Gamma is going to negate and destroy the Bestial Magnamut. You know, Cyframe Gear Gamma, one of those best cards you can draw as a defensive option when you're going second. Because not only is it negating the effect, it's destroying the monster. It gets a monster onto the field when you have your turn, when you use it on your own turn. Won't be an issue here since he is using it going second, or they are.
And it feels like In my mind, it makes sense to hit that because the Magnemite will represent another Dragon Surge from the deck in the end phase, as well as, like you said, that level 6 monster on the field, which can be used for synchro plays. And we also have Maxi for Victinium.
Yeah, a couple of B seals here from Sveti.
Wow.
But, so many interactions from the hand from Victinium. Effect Veiler, Gamma, the Ash Blossom on the other side. Just incredible.
I mean, this is turn 1, and we see 3 cards available still to our first duelist here. I believe Sveti is the in-game name, but that was Red Techno Tenor as the listed name on the bracket.
Let's see where they go from here. There's just one other card in hand. They could perform a Synchro Summon.
Okay. Now, already off the bat here, Nocturne, are you favoring either of these duelists on the screen?
I would say I am more favoring Victinium.
Okay, looking at Victinium, has the cooler field.
Yeah?
Opened up with a lot of interaction there. I could see it.
I will say I actually agree with that because of the fact that the initial Centurion plays have been slowed down enough that Victinium, with 3 cards still in hand, depending on what they're playing, could look to play through whatever field Red Techno Tenor sets up. But we do have Baron de Fleur on the field.
Welcome back, Baron. It's been a minute since I've seen you. Awesome to have you here in Master Duel. Level 10 Synchro can negate any card, can destroy a card in the field. Looks like going to destroy the Gamma. You don't want to destroy the Driver because it can be summoned from the graveyard with a Psi Frame later on.
You're happy to see that banished in the end phase due to Gamma's effect. And we have the Emblema Oath as well.
Emblema Oath is going to let Sveti add any card he wants, or just place it to the Spell and Trap card zone.
Yep. And that is going to get Phalanx to target a face-up monster on the field and banish it, and then during the standby phase of the next turn, return it. So,
so an interaction with the Baron, interaction with the Spell and Trap card.
Nocturne, I think you're right. Victinium's in a very good position here. And it's even better with the Cosmic Cyclone.
It's a good way to start. We're going to have to see if Sveti uses the Baron here to stop the Cosmic. Nope, just lets
Letting it go.
Wanted, Seeker, this is for spoils.
Now, Nocturne, there's no way that you stacked the decks here. I mean, you're favoring Victinium, but this is purely by chance, correct? This is a fair fight?
I am not at liberty to say.
All right. Well, I know he's a hacker, but I doubt he could hack into Master Duel itself. So we do the wanted in the draw phase there. Now we're into main phase with a chicken game. So we do see Victinium at least playing the Diabellstar package here. Let's see if there's other cards alongside of it. A second chicken game.
Yeah, chicken game pretty neat in the Snake Eye strategy. You can use it like an Upstart Goblin where you're thinning your deck out, getting access to those Snake Eye monsters with all the limitations like Snake Eye Ash being at 1. But it also leaves you with a face-up card in the field that you can send with Diabellstar the Black Witch or a Snake Eye Ash.
That's a good point.
It's a really cool tech here that we're seeing in Master Duel, but Diabellstar the Black Witch is going to let Victinium grab a sinful spoil from the deck. And that's where the Baron is going to come into play and negate that.
So that is the last button click that Red Techno Tenor will have. And that means, Nocturne, I got to ask, what percentage chance do you think Red Techno Tenor survives this turn? Well, never mind. I don't even have to ask. That's a forfeit because there was no other plays. That bonfire basically signaled the end of the game.
Yeah, the bonfire, having access to the normal summon still, that's the way you kind of play with Snake Eye. You push through all the interruptions your opponent has using your special summons. The longer you can hold on to that normal summon, the better of a position it puts you in later on in that game. The bonfire would be able to grab Snake Eye Ash and combo off from there. I mean, there's many different ways you can end up getting to 8,000, whether it be Access Code Talker plus a 3,000 attack monster like Snake Eye Slamber's Dragon. You could also go into Raging Phoenix, into World Dragon Zillantis, bring back Promethean Princess, and that's going to be able to do over 8,000 damage. Plenty of different ways to go for it, so that's why we see the concession there so early.
Now, Nocturne, I want to bring the question up to you. Duel number 1, rank it out of 10. Rank Techno Tenor's performance, or rather, sorry, Victinium's performance, the winner of duel number 1, who you had favored.
I would give him a solid 8.
Solid 8.
That's what I was 8. 8 is where I was at too on that one.
Tough to impress both of you, as I felt that the deck building skills were what impressed me the most. The chicken games coming in here, something that is very creative for duelists to use in Master Duel when there are a lot of those Forbidden Limited List hits to things like the Snake Eyes Ash.
Yeah, definitely. The chicken game was really, really cool to see. I mean, it has multiple purposes, and with the limitations, you can basically just replace the Snake Eye Ash with chicken game, and really fantastic to see it pay off there. I mean, also just opening up with those interactions going second, making the decision to play Side-Frame Gear Gamma in the main deck. Speaking of main deck, they are side decking right now.
Yes.
Just so you at home know, side decking is a little bit different for this tournament. It's kind of the way it is in our Master Duel main event series as well. You have to play game 1 with the deck that you registered with, but then your side deck is your whole collection. You could completely switch decks to a different strategy if you want, or you can just put in like those going second / going first cards into the strategy that you're already doing.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of different ways you can go about it. Maybe after losing with Centaur Ion there in game number 1, Red Techno Tenor is going to switch to a completely different strategy, or he might just think he got a little unlucky there with all those interactions. Fictinium was the top one. Yes, Sveti was the bottom one.
Yes.
But either way, you could switch from Centurion to a different strategy. But it's hard to not chalk it up to just having a good hand there.
When you know if you're going first versus second, it can really change the type of deck, the type of strategy that you want to bring into the duel. So it's going to be up to these duelists to show us what they choose to bring. I still feel that Snake Eyes is a very powerful deck going second, but typically we see, especially in Master Duel, if you know that you're going to be going second, maybe things like Hashtiras come in. They could start siding in different cards that are better at breaking the field. But Fictinium, still Centaur Ion going first is terrifying. Like its ability to synchro summon is incredible.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest, the determining factor there was, Side-Frame Gear Gamma.
Yeah.
It's not only effect negate, it destroys the card. And even though he was forced to use that Ash Blossom on it, being able to have in the hand to use on the next cards you play was just too much.
Yep, it was, in fact, for game number 1, but we are ready now for game number 2. Fictinium is up 1-0 in the best of 3 series. If they can win one more duel, they can unmask Nocturne, and what would you know? Again!
Is this a replay of the first duel? This is exactly how it started.
It is almost card for card. Infinite Impermanence instead of Effect Veiler, but literally the same interaction. Primera will get negated. What are the odds?
Don't fix it.
Apparently the odds are pretty good if Nocturne's on your side.
Now I actually am wondering if Nocturne is doing something here. A set and a pass. This could be over quickly, Billy Break.
Especially if Sveti decides to concede if he sees they see a bonfire.
Oh no. No wanted in draw phase this time around, so we are straight into main phase 1. How strong of an opening hand does Fictinium have?
That's the question of the day.
It's another chicken game. This is incredible. This is incredible.
Yep, chicken game gonna pay 1,000 to draw a card.
There we go again.
We're playing chicken games out here. We were not playing the real game. We're talking about chicken game. Not even the game, chicken game.
Yeah.
All right, now Fictinium taking a moment to consider the options.
Yeah, drew the card, still has chicken game on the field, and like you said, the Diabelisar, the Black Witch, can send that as the material to summon herself.
Yeah, and using it for like Snake Eye Ash also to send is pretty nice as well. You're just getting a free monster while having less cards in your deck. But it looks like, Original Sinful Swells, it's hard to get a face-up card for that when the Black Witch can use set cards. Original Sinful Swell needs a face-up card.
Yep.
We're seeing that synergy with Chicken Game. Is there an Ash Blossom? No.
There was not. So we're going straight into Poplar, which makes me think there's a potential that we either have a Bonfire or the Snake Eye Ash already in hand.
Yeah, definitely a normal summon is what that's going to lead me to believe as well.
Yeah.
I hope there's Fire Kings in here. Fire King's one of my favorite decks of all time, and I know it is a little bit stronger in the Master Duel than it is in the TCG.
Mm-hmm. It's got access to pretty much everything that you need for the deck, but it's up to Fictinium to make the decisions here.
There it is. You called it. Snake Eye Ash is coming down from the hand.
Normal summon used. Is there a response? No. There was a toggle, though.
So something is activatable.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we could guess it's the Centurion Phalanx.
Could be, at which point you maybe try and hit the Promethean Princess if you're trying to clog things up, but Jet Synchron. And now we have Max C using it here as opposed to on the original Sinful Spoils. Interesting.
He knows he has the Siphon Gear Gamma, so he has to wait for him to put a monster on the field, so he won't be able to use the Gamma on the Max C. It's something heads up to do even if you don't know your opponent has Gamma, but just to like make sure you cross all your T's and dot your I's. But Divine Temple of the Snake Eyes is coming up next. No short of the Snake Eyes spell and traps here for Fictinium.
And we're straight into battle phase. So it looks like the duel will not end on this turn. Fictinium does not want to play into that Max C, would rather just pass and leave the opponent with very few cards, very few options.
Yeah, this is going to be tough here, but Sveti's in a better shape than last game.
All right, what are we going to link up into here? It's an IP Master. Well, you get the nod of approval from Nocturne here, Fictinium.
Yeah,
Nocturne's valuing the patient play.
Yeah, it's solid here with the Divine Temple of Snake Eye. If Sveti does summon a monster, Fictinium will be able to push forward that Snake Eye Flamer's Dragon, special summon it to the main monster zone, and then the IP Masquerade can go into something like SP Little Knight for the interaction. With one face-down card, could be infinite permanence, so Sveti has a mountain to climb here this turn, but not out of it by any means. That Maxi really saved Sveti this game.
Yeah. Let them survive for much longer, as the Bestial Lupellion has been activated. We gotta add a Bestial monster from our deck to our hand now. I imagine, it's Druisworm. Magnuma might be a little too slow here.
Yeah, Druisworm having that immediate impact, being able to send a special summon monster to the graveyard if it leaves. Could be the case, could force out the SP Little Knight.
You can also just go battle phase and attack with it.
Yeah, I think that is probably what Sveti will be looking to do once the Snake Eye Flamer's Dragon is summoned.
You try to mask your strategy, but I see straight through you.
Nocturne's not impressed by this, then, I guess. Fictinium clearly getting the approval of the Shadow Duelist now. Dragons at the field. Now the question is, does Fictinium decide to go immediately into a Link Summon from this position? Because you get the guaranteed SP, but no, does not look like it. We're going to bring out Bestial Lupellion, and Sveti will now get that Druisworm activation.
Yeah, that's a good way to force out the IP before having to commit to the battle phase, because there's a chance that Sveti would be able to just go into the battle phase, continue to allow that, knowing that the follow-up is so strong on their side.
Yeah.
So I can see the merit behind going this route. He still has his normal summon. Centurion can do a lot with one card, but every time Sveti's tried to use a Centurion card, it's been met by a flurry of negation.
Yes. And important to note that if Fictinium does not have a monster on the field at any point here, that Gamma is live in hand yet again.
That is true.
But I imagine that Fictinium will have a lot of monsters, as that Flamberge effect is going off.
Yep, Flamebird's going to be able to bring back 2 level 1 fires when it's in the graveyard. SP Little Knight is going to try and banish the Lupellion, but Call by the Grave on the Flamebird's actually huge here. This cuts off the monsters from coming back. It cuts off Flamebird coming back from a Princess for follow-up on the following turn. So as long as Sveti has something to do with those last 2 cards in the hand, could be useful. I really like the Bestials with the Centurion. That's something I haven't seen too much of in the TCG, but we saw the level 6 and the 4 tuners line up for level 10. Lupellion lines up for a level 12 Synchro. I like the synergy.
And Nocturne, are you worried for Fictinium in this position? Because it looks like Sveti's getting back into the game.
I may be slightly worried.
Only slightly.
Only slightly. We don't get a lot of emotion out of Nocturne. I guess there's a reason for the mask, it's to mask all of that.
It's all according to the plan.
Of course. Bonfire activated by Sveti now.
Bonfire doesn't just search Snake Eye Ash, it can search any level 4 or lower Pyro.
Yeah.
Which happens to also be Centurion Trudea.
Okay. So you can place it along with a Centurion monster.
Yep, so Trudea is a good...
Escape the shadows.
I don't know if either of these duelists are escaping the shadows right now. We are in the thick of this duel. Sveti has fought their way back into it.
So Trudea can get any monster from your deck into the spell and trap card zone. Probably looking to go for Centurion Premier. Oh, Centurion Gargoyle to is going to be able to come down to the field. He still has to worry about the SP Little Knight, so he might just go battle phase. They might go battle phase.
And we are doing just that. Centurion Gargoyle the second will hit in. And there we go. SP Little Knight has been dealt with. Now, what can Sveti do in main phase 2? Nothing. End phase.
And the face down card is a Wanted, the Seeker of the Sinful Spoils. That's going to grab Diabellstar the Black Witch. Sveti with no cards in hand, no interactions from the graveyard. This is going to be tough, and I think the Shadow Duelist had a good pick when he said that Fictinium would be walking away victoriously.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to wait and see, but Nocturne, I think that you were spot on with favoring Fictinium, because with this many cards in hand as the Snake Eye player, I have to imagine that there's enough to just win the duel here.
I tend to be correct.
So far it's looking good.
Constantly brushing that mask around, taunting us, Nocturne here. As Oak has hit the field, which will bring out the Ash, and Ash effect will then presumably search for a Poplar, although could get any level 1.
You see Jet Synchron being discarded.
Straight in, okay.
Special summon Diabellstar the Black Witch. All these little Snake Eye monsters are gaining the attack boost from the field spell. Diabellstar is going to try and set Subversion of the Sinful Spoils.
I mean, let's do the quick math here. 3,900, that is 6,400 on the field already if you just activate that and throw back the Centurion Gargoyle. But no, we are still going to go into a deeper combo here.
Yep. Snake Eye Oak and Ash are going to the graveyard to summon Snake Eye's Flamebird's Dragon from the deck. Now it looks like Fictinium is going to use the effect to put a monster into the spell and trap card zone.
I think Fictinium's doing a little bit of a victory lap here, Nocturne. A 2-0, is this what you predicted? Did you really think it would be over this fast?
The hour of my reveal is almost upon us. I don't know this happen.
Well, there you go. Nocturne was correct. We have our victor, Fictinium, with a solid 2-0 victory. And they are your Shadow Duelist Tournament winner.
Just incredible. I mean, showing the power of Snake Eye, having all those options. I mean, when Snake Eye is at its best is when it is going second. It has all the defensive options and multiple ways to start their turn on top of that. Couldn't have asked for probably a better hand in game number 1. And game 2 also had that Cyframe Gear Gamma, which is just one of the best cards you can start with going second. But, you know, taking nothing away from Fictinium, it was incredible. An incredible day yesterday.
Yep.
Had to play through 9 rounds of Swiss, top 32, and beyond that to even make it to this finals.
And Nocturne, I got to bring it to you. Fictinium with a 2-0, you predicted it, but how well do you feel this duelist played?
I would give him a 10 out of 10 for the last battle.
That's as many as you can give.
That's a high score.
That's more like it, Nocturne. All right, maybe I had you figured out wrong throughout the day. Maybe apologies for some of that hostility, because that's definitely the rating I would give Fictinium there at the end. Again, going for that victory lap, as I like to call it, when you know that you have the game already in the books. But with that said, that means that Fictinium is the one who will get the honor of unmasking Nocturne, which means that we're going to very quickly and very soon here learn the identity of Nocturne. Nocturne, are you nervous at all? Are you worried about this?
I do not experience nerves. I'm Nocturne.
Does not experience nerves.
I like that a lot. You know, I can tell you I'm filled with anticipation, and this is the moment I've been waiting for to find out who is behind the mask, who is Nocturne.
But before we have Fictinium unveil the masked duelists themselves, we are actually going to take a look at the final clue so that everybody at home can guess along one last time to see if they know who the masked Shadow Duelist is before we actually see Nocturne's face proper. Because we do have, I believe, 3 more clues to give out. Now, these ones might be a little more on the nose than the past ones, so everybody be ready in chat along with us. Let's take a look at one of the last remaining clues. Up here, clue number 11, Nocturne's melodies have topped charts across the Atlantic. Nocturne said they don't have any nerves. I mean, clearly, if this is the type of accolade that they've accomplished.
Yeah, I mean, topping the charts is, no matter what chart it is no easy feat by any means. And across the Atlantic kind of gives me the vibes of this could be a worldwide celebrity, someone who's
an
across
ocean.
the Atlantic. It is an ocean last time I checked.
Yeah,
it's a big one.
Usually I'm not super confident in those, but I do know Atlantic, definitely an ocean, and that means you're right, worldwide. That's a big hint right there. Probably not from the Los Angeles area. I could guess that at least, but we'll see. We do have more clues to get through, though, so let's take a look at one of the next clues up. Clue number 12. From dusk till dawn, Nocturne fills the air with stardust and pillow talk. What does that mean?
You know, I mean, Stardust, my brain goes to Stardust Dragon. Shooting Stardust Dragon?
5Ds.
5D synchros. Pillow Talk. Is it Numeria? Is that?
Yeah, it could be that. I'm trying to think what the connection is between Stardust and Pillow Talk. I guess you sleep on a pillow, and usually you're sleeping at night under the stars. How does that tell us?
Nocturne at night.
Nocturne.
Pillows.
Ooh.
It's coming together.
Nocturne's a fan of napping.
I'm also a fan of naps.
Under the open sky. Okay, I'm trying to think of celebrities that fit that one. Let's take a look, though, at our last clue. If you have it already in chat, congratulations. If not, this is your last chance to guess it. Clue number 13. North, south, east, west. Nocturne will only choose one. Well, if it's a globe, you're going to end up in the same location no matter which direction
if you just go west, you're just getting up right back where you belong. Yeah.
I don't think this gives any information.
Yeah, this is still a tough one. I'm still not sure who's behind that mask.
I guess if you can only pick the one, maybe that's a hint. All right, well, that is it for the clues. That is all 13. We've had a month of anticipation, a month of guessing along together. Who could possibly be behind the mask? Let's bring Nocturne back on with us here, because Nocturne, we have our victor. Fictinium is the one that earned the right to unveil your mask and win that mask from you. So, without further ado, let's see who's the duelist behind the mask.
I'm so nervous.
I don't know who it could be.
Ooh.
No
What?
way! No way! No
It is
way!
multi-platinum selling record artist Zayn.
Zayn Malik? I can't
How's it
believe
going?
it. It is such an honor. Thank you so much for being here and putting on this awesome tournament.
Yeah, first of all, apologies for all the mask comments I was making. I wasn't aware, I guess, of who I was speaking to.
You're good. It was fun. I enjoyed it. It was, it was good banter. I really liked it. Thank you.
Well, welcome to the stream, Zayn. I wasn't aware that you were a Yu-Gi-Oh fan.
Yeah, I'm a big Yu-Gi-Oh fan. I've been into Yu-Gi-Oh for a long time, since I was a small kid. So it's an honor to be here to do this. And it was very exciting. I've been looking forward to it for a few weeks. So yeah, I'm glad to be here today.
I'm just absolutely blown away. I'm a little starstruck, just in awe that, someone of your caliber also enjoys something that, we love and that people around the world love. And you brought people together here for this tournament, and just incredible. So awesome.
Well, you said that you've been excited about this for weeks now. What were you most excited about? Was it bringing the community together, or was it just getting to wear such a cool mask and mess around with all of us here in the community?
Yeah, I think it's a bit of both, a mixture of both. It was nice to get everybody together, obviously, here to compete and do this, but also I'm a big fan of dressing up. I love Halloween. I love any, costume I can ever get into and play a character. So it was a fun experience, and one I didn't want to miss out on.
Well, we're happy that you were here. Happy to have you. Speaking of costumes, you got that beautiful mask, and Fictinium is the one who wins the entire tournament that you're putting on for us here.
That's correct.
And I believe that means we owe Fictinium something. You got to sign that mask, Zayn.
Yeah, we do. So I'm going to put it here, and I'm going to sign it on the inside.
Okay.
So we don't ruin the outside of it. Oh, here we go. I don't know if you can see.
This is a big moment. That mask... Oh, what a beauty.
Oh, it was so cool.
Even looks cool on the inside.
You see it?
Move it up to the camera a little bit.
Really
Let's
cool.
get a good look at it. There we go.
I see it. Yeah, there it
the
is.
signed
Right in the bottom corner.
Shadow Duelist
Yes.
mask by Zayn himself.
Just incredible. I like your gloves. The wearing those gloves there.
Thank you.
Yeah, I could make it too obvious, I guess, by showing off the hands here.
Yeah.
Well, Zayd, it was awesome having you on the show, but we were teasing throughout the entire month who could be the duelist behind the mask. I'm sure some people were able to guess it correctly, probably were spamming in chat who it was behind it the whole time, but we had a couple of clues that we were giving out as hints to who you were. So I want to, we're going to cover some of those clues later, but first let's get to know you as a duelist a little bit. Talk to me about your origin story. Yep. How did you first get into Yu-Gi-Oh?
This is what I'm interested in, yes.
Long time ago, I think I properly started playing the game on Game Boy Advance SP a long time ago.
Ooh.
I collected the cards, but I was really young, so I still didn't really understand how a lot of it worked. I think I was probably about 6, 7 when I got into it. So yeah, it took me a while to properly understand the game, but once it solidified, I think I was playing on Game Boy Advance SP quite a lot. The original game that came out on there, I think I remember years ago.
A long time ago.
There's a lot of good games that were on the DS and the regular Game Boy and Game Boy Color.
Yeah.
So it's really awesome that you also played those. I loved them as well as a kid. Really fantastic games.
Yeah, I mean, those are some of the old school cards. I maybe it's touching your memory too much, but do you remember when you were a kid, when you were like 6, 7, what your favorite card was back then in the games?
My favorite card, I know it sounds super cliche, but obviously everyone loves Dark Magician. I love Blue Eyes White Dragon. I also love the Exodia cards. Where you get all the different parts. I can't remember what the name was, like where you have to put it together. I can't remember his name now off the top of my head.
Exodia, yeah.
Exodia, the forbidden one with the
Exodia,
left arm, right arm, left leg, right leg.
Exactly, yeah. And it was like a whole thing trying to get every card and get it out of the deck and put it together. But once you did it, you were pretty much unstoppable. No one could fight that card.
Exactly. Yep. Yeah. Exodia is also one of my favorites. We actually have new cards that came out recently in the Infinite Forbidden. One of our last core boosters actually was new Exodia cards. Yeah, we're gonna have to make sure you get your hands on those as well.
Yeah, for sure. I'd love to.
Do you have any favorite parts? Because I mean, Exodia was clearly like the episode 1 of the anime, like a big deal in the show. We saw Dark Magician, Blue Eyes, all of that very early on. Do you have any favorite parts or memorable storylines from the Yu-Gi-Oh anime? Because I feel like a lot of people connect not just to the cards, but to like the show itself too.
Yeah, I loved a lot of different parts of the show, but obviously the most memorable battle for me was the Kaiba battle, and that always just stuck out to me. I've always loved that rivalry that Yugi and Kaiba had. Was cool.
Which one? The first one or the one where he's
probably
threatening at Maximilian's front door, saying, "I'm going to take your star chips."
Make Yugi make the choice.
First one, yeah.
Okay.
The first big battle, yeah, for sure. I'm a bit rusty with it in my mind, but it's been a while since I watched it properly. I should probably do a rerun from the beginning. Actually, it'd be a good shout.
I'm rewatching through GX right now, and I gotta say it's a fun time. So highly recommend. Yeah, go rewatch through that. If you could hang out with any of the characters from the Yu-Gi-Oh universe, who would it be and why?
Again, super cliche, but I'm sure everyone wants to hang out with Yugi, right?
Of course,
he's the dude. So.
Do you try to play him in games though? Because he's the king of games, so you're probably gonna lose at every one. Do you even try at that point?
In the game, you mean when I'm playing against him? Yeah,
game,
you have to play against. Okay, yeah, for sure.
I mean, I think it'd be awesome if we got to see you duel against Yugi with the Nocturne mask on, because you literally look like you're out from the anime, just one of the characters that the group encounters along their travels.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to do it though. He's always gonna win, like you said.
It's the heart of the cards, right?
Yeah, exactly. The cards are always on Yugi's side.
Yeah.
He always draws the card he needs, and I swear they weren't in his deck in the last time I saw him.
Right? Yeah.
Where are they coming from?
He just keeps opening packs, man. It's crazy.
That's the best way to get better.
Crazy.
Open booster packs.
A bit like Fictinium tonight.
Exactly.
There you go.
Well, I'm happy you bring up Fictinium, because now I want to hear from Zane, not just the Nocturne who gave your thoughts, but talk to me about how impressive it was seeing Fictinium play, one of the top duelists winning this entire event. How fun was this just getting to witness such a high-caliber duelist?
Yeah, it's insane. Like I've dabbled a bit, played myself. When the game came out, I got into it quite a bit, and I got to a certain level, and then there was just like some people that play this game that are just ridiculous, and Fictinium is obviously one of them people. The chain links with the cards were really impressive. I don't even think the other guy got to make any moves. He kind of just destroyed him, did his thing. So yeah, I wouldn't want to play him. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, Fictinium did have an answer every time Sveti tried to do anything in that game, and yeah, he'd be a tough opponent. I'd like to, try and duel him one day, maybe, but
yeah. Well, you mentioned that you've dabbled a little bit in Master Duel yourself. First off, what platform did you play on? Are you a PC gamer, or were you playing on your phone?
I started it on my iPad first.
Okay.
I was playing it on there, and then. Did you? Yeah, because I like the interface. I like the way that you could like move it with the touch screen and stuff. So I started playing on there, and then I started playing on Steam afterwards. But I've got it on pretty much everything. I've got it on Xbox. I've got it on PlayStation. Not to stunt or anything, but
I love flex. Yeah.
I mean, you mentioned that you used to play like all the games as like a kid, and I also did the same. As a kid, me never would have dreamed of something like Master Duel existing, to where not only can I play Yu-Gi-Oh anywhere I want all the time, I can play against anyone worldwide and jump into like a ranked match and challenge someone 24 hours a day. It's literally a dream come true with Master Duel just being a thing.
Yeah, it is definitely. The progression of it from when we were children is insane, for sure.
The game has come a long way, and the ways to play the game have come a long way, but a lot of people's favorite way to engage with the game is through memorabilia and through fun collectibles. I mean, that's kind of where it all started, right, with the cards. Zane, do you have anything that you're like the most proud of? Anything that you own from Yu-Gi-Oh?
This is my Yu-Gi-Oh binder.
Wait a minute.
I have all my Yu-Gi-Oh cards in. Yeah.
Okay.
And I think the question was before, what is my favorite card? And obviously I have the Shooting Star Dragon, and obviously it's just one of my most powerful cards. That's why I like it so much.
Okay.
I have the Shooting Quasar Dragon too.
Shooting Quasar is one of my favorites. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
It's a powerful synchro monster.
While you're pulling that out, those are both connected to the Stardust archetype. Did this card inspire your song titled Stardust in any way?
It's a complete coincidence. Maybe it's like subliminally in there, Stardust, and it just came out subconsciously, but I didn't consciously think about it, but yeah, things like that happen a lot.
It's a really good song. I've been playing it.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, nonstop.
Wait, can you bring up the binder one more time, Zane? I want to take a look. Is that Sharpie that you colored on the front with?
It is, yeah. It is, yeah.
It ran out of room for the H there at the end.
Didn't have enough space for the H there. Didn't really figure it out. Went a bit too far along, but it is what it is.
That's classic playground Yu-Gi-Oh right there. That's amazing. A good penmanship, by the way. I don't think 8-year-old me would have been able to do anything even close to that. That's crazy.
But 34-year-old me couldn't do that.
All right. Well, maybe we'll look forward for future albums to see other subliminal Yu-Gi-Oh names make it into
I'm going
songs.
back through his entire discography.
Definitely be on the lookout for that.
Yeah, it's going to be coming next. Next one,
I'm gonna call my next album Yami Yugi.
There you go.
Every song will be a card that Yugi plays. We'll have Dark Magician, Karibo. Exactly. People will be really confused.
Music to duel by.
The people that love it are gonna love it.
He's a real fan. He's a real fan. It's genuine.
That's how we know. Well, actually, I did have a question on that point, because obviously a musical artist, you multi-award winning, multi-platinum selling. The show itself, I love the Yu-Gi-Oh music. But the genres change all the time, right? We have like rock and roll kind of theme in GX. We have like the epic Egyptian theme from the original show. If you were to make a Yu-Gi-Oh theme song, what genre of music would you choose?
For me, I think I'd have to do something like real, early 2000s rock. And just kind of keep it in that iconic era of like where I feel like all these like cartoons kind of started with their music, just something catchy and high energy and something that like encapsulates the heroic energy of the show,
I love that.
Feels epic.
That would fit. I like that. All right. Well, Zane, it's been awesome having you on the show with us so far. I mean, Nocturne was one thing, but having Zane on is a completely other. But I want to give you the opportunity. Is there anything else that you want people out there to know? You have the whole Yu-Gi-Oh community watching right now, so what would you like to say?
I am massively honored to be here. This was very fun. And I have some interesting stuff coming out with my music pretty soon. Some pretty big announcements coming up. So if you're interested in my music at all, I've got some cool news coming pretty soon.
Yeah. I can't wait for that. Now again, my anticipation ended for the Shadow Duelist, and now I have a whole new thing to be excited about at the end of this as well. That's so cool to hear. Yeah, really awesome.
Yeah, I was listening to the album that just dropped all week, and it's been fantastic. Completely coincidentally to this, of course. Yeah. But Zane, I teased it earlier that we had a couple of hints that people were guessing along throughout the last month. Maybe I was able to guess a little early through the hints, but I want to cover some of them with you because we learned a lot about you, not just as an artist, but just as a person. So let's take a look at the hint number one, clue number one that was given out here. And I want to take some time with you while we have you on stream to learn a little bit more about you as a person. Up first, clue number one. Okay, this was the last one, so we'll get that off the screen. But I believe the first one was about being a teacher, using language and actually pivoting from an interest in that towards a different stage. Here we go. Nocturne once planned to teach the art of language before stepping onto a different stage. So what was going on with kind of early Zane and your initial interests?
Yeah, so in school, like the two subjects that I like gravitated towards naturally were probably theatre studies and English. And I obviously just took a real liking to language and literature and, poetry. So I actually did my English GCSE a year early. They put me in at 15. You're meant to do it at 16 in the UK. And I got an A. So I was like, I must be pretty good at this. Maybe I should go into this and teach this, And I always just wanted to pass things on naturally as a kid. It was just, part of my nature. If I knew something, I wanted to like pass that on. So I was like, it's a perfect opportunity for me to exercise that skill. So that was where the interest came, and I wanted to teach English, specifically.
Yeah, very noble. I mean, knowing that you're obviously good at something with English, move on to be a songwriter, and then you want to pass those skills on to others, very awesome.
Would you be willing to do any lessons for Yu-Gi-Oh! Duelists? Because reading can sometimes be an issue in our community, and if you're able to help us out with that, that would be a big help.
They could really use a
for
teacher.
Sure, yeah. Some reading classes, definitely. No, I don't want to profess to be too good. People might start walking up to me on the street and challenging me to a shadow duel.
Oh, okay, yeah. You prefer to be the one to put those on rather than participate in them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Right. Well, here's clue number two. In their youth, Nocturne donned fighter's mitts as a different sort of duelist. This one I have to know about. What's going on with this part of your past?
I think that's referring to me doing a bit of boxing when I was younger. When I was about 14, 15, I did a bit of boxing for a couple of years. I was okay at it. I didn't do too well. That's why I didn't pursue that career. Didn't want to get punched in the face too much, I'll be honest.
Doesn't seem like too much fun.
Yeah, I tried it. Yeah, no, definitely not as fun as singing, so I'll stick to the singing, personally.
All right, fair enough. That's still cool, though. Do you feel like there's any part of that I've moved around between a lot of different sports in my life, and sometimes I have regret, like, I wish I had stuck with that a little bit longer. Do you feel like it was the right time to move on, or do you ever think, like, I should throw mitts out again and give it another go?
Definitely not. It's definitely not an interest that I want to take up again. I'm all about the training. Boxing training is probably one of the best training exercises you can take part in. So for cardio and things like that, yeah, I do it in the gym, but I would never fight professionally or even amateur or anything. It's not my thing.
Okay, fair enough. Well, I'll get you on the.
I'm a lover, not a fighter.
A lover, not a fighter. Songwriter as well. Clue number three: Nocturne possesses many fiendish familiars. This one actually stumped me.
I feel like it might be about pets.
Pets? Do you have any pets?
It is, yeah. I do, yeah. I have a lot of dogs and a lot of cats. Got 4 turtles. Got quite a few animals. I've got 11 chickens. Turtles.
Okay, all right. We got
terrapin turtles.
Yeah, we can't just cruise past all these. We're gonna have to go one by one. Turtles. What are their names and why turtles? How hard are turtles to take care of?
We named them after the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles because there was 4 of them originally.
Nice.
And then one sadly passed away. So I have 3 now. And then I have 3 dogs: Zeus, Zion, and Thumper. I have 4
Nice.
cats: Dobby, Salem, Vito, and Elsie, which my daughter named. I'm sure you can tell. Elsie.
Yeah.
And I've got like 11 chickens, and we haven't named all them because it's hard work when you get
Yeah.
attached.
Tell them apart. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm
and it's
also a
hard work
big
to tell them apart too.
I'm a big animal lover myself, so that's really cool to hear. And I love that the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles,
That's classic.
originally from Konami. So
Oh, really?
Yeah, a little bit intertwined there.
Ah, look at that.
It's a small world.
Yeah, there we go. Nice.
Not
Yeah,
sponsored,
that's good.
but
Hashtag not sponsored.
let's take a look at the next clue here as we continue getting to know Zane together. Clue number 4: Nocturne is cloaked in shadow and draped in melody. Now, this one might be a little more straightforward. But, talk to me about your journey as a musician, because obviously you're talking about having a love for language from a very young age, but when did your interest in music really pick up?
I would say my interest in music probably picked up around me being about 12, 13. I auditioned for a theatre production in my school of Greece, and it required a dance audition and a singing audition. Now, if anybody knows me, they know I'm not really that good at dancing at all. So I focused on the singing part of it, and I got a good response, from like my peers, my student pupils, and also the teachers and stuff like that. They told me that I had a bit of a talent there. So then I really got into it and started practicing and trying to get good, and obviously trying to impress the ladies too. You know how it is. That's what it's all about when you're in high school.
So they could tell right off the bat, like the vocals were electrifying right away. That's the roughest thing. I didn't want to sing it. I don't have a singing with.
I don't know if it was electrifying. I think they could tell I had a bit of ability, but I wouldn't quite say electrifying at 12, to be honest. But
that's the only like
that's
Grease
just me,
lyric I could like pull from. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly. Yeah, so Greece was the start.
Grease was the start. Wow, I never knew that one. Then I guess when did it pick up? When do you feel like you actually started coming into your own as a musician and you felt like you were really owning it?
I think that's probably just happened for me in the last like 3-4 years. I'll be honest with you. And still not like fully sedimented into that idea. I think the type of person I am, my personality, is never, this is complete and it's a finished product. I always want to work on things and get better at things. So I'm always probably going to be my own worst critic, That's just the way I am.
Yeah, I mean those are the same things I would say to people who want to get better at Yu-Gi-Oh and be a better duelist. Is the second you hit that point where you're like, oh, I'm the greatest, that's when you're not the greatest, because someone out there is hungry or still building on it, still feeling like they can.
I think it applies to everything in life. Like once you think you're the greatest, somebody else is going to show you that they're better than you. So I never like to think like that, for sure.
Great mentality to have.
All
for
right.
sure.
Zane, multi-platinum selling artist, same as, locals duelists. Same mentality, right? You just got to be the best. All right, well, we also have clue number 5, the planet Saturn. Yeah, gotta work hard. Planet Saturn rules Nocturne's House of Stars. Are you a Capricorn? Is that correct?
That is correct, yeah.
Okay.
I'm a Capricorn.
All right.
This one probably narrowed it down for a lot of people.
Yeah, how many people do you think out there got it just from this guess alone? Like, do you feel like you're on people's mind? Yeah, from clue number 5.
I don't know I think if they're like a fan of mine, they probably know I'm a Capricorn, but I don't know if like general people would know that about me.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about that the other day. I was like, Zayn Malik, he's a Capricorn.
Comes up more often than you think.
Oh, yeah. Just casually, yeah.
Well, Yu-Gi-Oh players, we read cards, playing cards.
There you
cards, reading, futures and such. That's a GX character as well.
Oh, there you go.
All right, well, let's take a look at the next clue here. Clue number 6 as we continue to get to know Zane together. Nocturne is kingly in stature and in name. What does this one mean?
I didn't get this one. I'll be honest, the kingly in stature I didn't understand. In name, Malik means king, so I knew what that meant, but I didn't know what in stature meant, yeah. But I'll take it. If somebody thinks I'm kingly in stature, then all right, cool.
Now, this one probably
I don't know
gave
what
it
that part
away.
means, but yeah, my surname means Malik, yeah.
Okay, interesting. That's cool to know. Well, hey, you know what? Kingland Stature, I'll double down on that one. I think that one's true as well. There we go. All right, well, take a look at the next one. Clue number 7. Nocturne hails from the Sceptered Isle. Is this a real place? That sounds like a made-up place.
Sceptered Isles.
Sceptered Isle?
I have no idea what that one means myself, I'll be honest with you. The Sceptered
Beautiful.
Isle.
Sceptered Isle.
I assumed it's something from like the UK or.
I'm guessing it's like the island being by itself, floating in the water.
Okay, could be. All right, well, let's take a look at clue number 8 then at that point. Not all of them are going to give people that laser eye view on you. Nocturne's experience spreads far and wide across the country and into the very soul. You are an intercontinental celebrity, I would suppose. So I imagine that that's what this one's like. What's it been like for you? Because I believe that you living where are you located right now with all of your chickens and all your turtles?
I am living in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
So yeah, on a farm out here. I guess this clue is obviously to do with the sound of the record as well that we just did, because it had a bit of a country sound to it and like a
soul, the
bluesy
R&B
soul kind of sound.
Yeah.
Yeah, the R&B soul. So yeah, I guess that's what they're talking about there.
Makes a lot of sense. I
That is
definitely
cool.
get those vibes from Stardust and the more recent songs.
Yeah, were there any inspirations that you took for the writing of the album, whether it's like other musical artists or just living in Pennsylvania and just the environment
Yeah,
around?
there was a lot. Yeah, there was a lot of different inspirations. The main inspiration was definitely living here, but just the type of music I've been listening to while I've been living out here. And I've said it a lot, but like Chris Stapleton, I started listening to quite heavy maybe about 3-4 years ago, and I wanted to do something in his kind of pocket. I just like the way he writes and sings. I just feel like it leaves itself to tell a story in a really fascinating way. So it was something I wanted to do, and it worked out well for me, surprisingly, because I didn't think many people would get me doing that kind of music. But Chris himself even gave me a bit of a stamp of approval. So
Oh wow, that's
I was
really
very
cool.
happy with the way it turned out.
Yeah,
it was
I
really
love
cool.
it. I love the sound and the vibes from your more recent
Yeah.
songs. They're really good, easy listening. And you can like feel like there's emotion behind it. There's like reasons behind the words, and yeah, just really good, really
Yeah,
awesome.
the country line here kind of gets me. Not necessarily like what you think of traditional country, but when I'm from Minnesota, and when I listen to the album, I'm like, I just want to have like a coffee in my hand, walking through the Minnesota woods in my backyard, just like going on an
Sure.
adventure or something.
Yeah, it's my version. My version of country for sure. It's not like typical country, but it's like my interpretation of it, you know?
All right, so what I'm hearing is that the next Yu-Gi-Oh! Theme's either going to be early 2000s rock or it's going to be country soul mix.
There we go.
Could be one or the other. We'll see.
Both sound awesome to me. I'm here for it.
All right, let's take a look at the next clue then here as we're getting through them. Clue number 9, Nocturne shuns the sun even though they've traveled 31 years around it. Now, I assume that, do you actually dislike the sun, or is that just a Nocturne joke about him being in the shadows?
I think it's a Nocturne joke, that one, yeah. But yeah, I also don't like to, usually wake up before midday unless I have to.
Who does?
That might make some sense there for that too.
And you're 31 years old, I guess.
I'm 31 years old.
That's
yeah.
got to be a big hint there.
What it's like to be
Wow.
31 again.
Yeah.
I'm only 34. It's not too bad.
Oh, in your old wisdom, do you have any advice for Zayn as an elder man?
You're fine.
Lots of questions, no advice. Yeah.
All right, I'll take a look at the next hint then here as we're getting towards the end of the clues. Clue number 10. Before going solo, Nocturne was part of the celebrated Brotherhood of Troubadours. Now, you, of course, have gone through a long development of yourself as a musician, as an artist. So how have some of your earlier days of making music helped shaped your ability to make music now?
Those early days obviously laid the full foundations for everything that I know, I didn't have any experience doing anything before I was in that band. My first audition properly for anything outside of school was for the X Factor. And I built all of my experience in my field with those 4 other guys. So it's definitely influenced, me as an artist and me as a person still today at 31.
Yeah, now you have an incredible solo career that, I just can't keep telling how big of a fan I am of, your more recent songs.
I mean, you were a fan of Nocturne already,
Yeah.
so at least you're consistent throughout the
I
whole
appreciate
show.
it. No, I really do. I really appreciate it. That was the whole idea behind doing a record like Room, was I wanted to bring in a different audience of people, people that might not necessarily listen to my music before. Just so they could see that, just because I'm making pop R&B doesn't necessarily mean that's all I can sing or make. I can dabble with different things, and I love music of, all different types of genres.
Definitely just an incredible voice.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Can you tease any maybe future genres that are coming up? You don't have to.
I could actually, yeah. Like, I'm dabbling a little bit with a South Asian sound at the minute too. So, I'm making some records like singing in a complete different language, which is really interesting and proves difficult at certain points. But it's a challenge, and I like a challenge. So, yeah, we're dabbling in the South Asian market. Hopefully, in the future.
That's really cool.
Really exciting.
Yeah. All right. Well, best of luck in that. I believe we have a few more clues to get through, so we can get through these ones. These were the last ones that we saw right before revealing. Nocturne's melodies have topped charts across the Atlantic. Looking back again on your career and the success that you have been able to achieve, I always wonder, as somebody who's been in the position where you're topping charts, what's the pressure like when you're building the next project that you're working on? Do you think about that at all, or are you just focused on the work and expressing your artistic expression?
Yeah, to be honest, it's not me trying to be a artsy fartsy dude when I sit here and say this. It's just the way it is, Like, I have always been a person that rather concentrate on the journey than the end goal. I don't like to see the finish line. I just like to take it a day at a time and just work on, what it is that I love doing, and that's music. I love singing. I love writing. I love being in the studio. I love enjoying that time. And I never really tried to put any pressure on myself for what is the outcome for this, what is, the end goal for this. Whenever people ask me that question, like, I always find it hard to answer because I just don't think that way. I just take it a day at a time.
Yeah, I mean, you nailed it, I think. I mean, going back to the where you can compare the two things, they're very similar. That's the same advice like I would give duelists. You give duelists who are looking to win a tournament. Like, you have to take it a day at a time. Yeah. It's about the journey, the preparation leading up to that tournament when you're finally at that goal. And then if you had the journey right, did the preparation, and put the time and work in, then you'll yield those results that you so desire.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and then it's a bonus, right? If you get the result, then it's always a bonus rather than a negative that you didn't achieve it,
Mm-hmm.
Very good words of advice.
Are there any personal favorite parts of that creative process that you have? Any like rituals that you have when you're in the process of writing a new song or making a new album?
My favorite part of the process is probably just the relaxed environment of being in the studio. I enjoy that. I like taking my time with things and just, eating junk food and sitting, eating pizza, writing, and just coming up with ideas. It's a real good place to have conversations about life and things, and then try to incorporate them conversations that you're having into the music so that it has, some relatability factor to it.
What's your number one comfort food then when you're in the studio working on something? I got to know.
Pizza.
Pizza.
Standard pizza.
Wait,
I love some pizza.
You have turtles named after Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
You
Your
like
favorite pizza. It's all coming together.
Yeah.
Do you happen to own a hockey? He has a mask. It's not a hockey mask, but
I do have a hockey mask too somewhere.
okay.
Sure.
Well, there we go.
Turtles in the half shell.
Yeah, I
I've
didn't
got a couple of
realize.
samurai swords as well somewhere. I've got Leo's sword somewhere too.
There you go.
Okay, we're
Maybe
checking
next
a lot of
time-
boxes
actually,
here.
Next time you show up, you're dressed as a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle.
Hey, he did say Halloween costumes. Enjoy
That'd be
those.
fun.
Yeah, could be. All right, here's the second to last
more of an
clue.
elaborate costume.
You gotta get the shell and everything. From dusk till dawn, Nocturne fills the air with stardust and pillow talk. These are, of course, two of the songs on your latest album. We talked a little bit about Stardust, of course. Were either of these, up there? Do you ever have like a favorite song at the end of an album when you look back and say like that one was like a personal favorite of yours, or one that you really feel like is going to click with the audience?
A personal favorite is probably a song that's not even a single. Usually the songs that like are more like the album tracks, I tend to gravitate towards more. The truth is, Dusk Till Dawn is probably my most proud achievement for a song, because I wrote it and then got to finish the writing off with Sia, who was an artist that I massively revered and have a lot of respect for. As a writer, as a vocalist, everything. So I think that's probably my biggest achievement, I would say. Like, doing the song with Sia was a big moment for me.
That's really cool.
Yeah, definitely want to check out the whole album. I always find that the hidden gems are always there in the album tracks as opposed to the singles.
Yeah,
but the singles are incredible. Like, Stardust has become one of my favorite songs.
It's great. Pillow Talk's great. I think My Woman, Fuchsia Sea, those are some of my favorites on the album too. So
nice.
Yeah,
I appreciate
great work. All right, and now this is the last clue, the final clue that we gave out that I'm sure gave a lot of people the answer to who you were, and that was, of course, north, south, east, west. Nocturne will only choose one. Which is your favorite direction, Zane?
I think what they were trying to say here is the north, because I'm from the north of England.
There we
so
go.
I guess I would only choose the north. Yeah,
I like that. I'm from Minnesota. I'm from the north as well.
One Direction.
Oh,
okay, you're a northerner too. Yeah.
That makes way more sense. I didn't understand that one.
That was over my head.
I was like, it's a globe. You're going to end up... You could go
I seen
anywhere.
you give a little subtle hint there when you were announcing it. I heard you say, "Oh, maybe it's the one." So I thought that's what you were doing there.
No, it was right over my head.
I didn't even
And I
notice
think
that the one is
you said one
capitalized.
as well where you said "in sync." You gave like a clue and you said "in sync," like try to throw them off.
I did
the
hear
track
that
a bit.
one,
I was like,
actually.
That was my complete accident. Yes.
Yeah.
Was it? Yeah, I was like, oh, I thought you were trying to throw them off. I was like,
Came
that's a good
straight
one,
from the
that.
back streets, yeah.
Oh man, I would have looked really clever and cool.
If it was
Sometimes
intentional.
I just bumble my way into these awesome things.
Billy's just naturally talented like that. That's why we love having him around. But Zane, that is all of the clues that we had. I'm happy that we had you to talk through all of that with us. So thank you so much for taking the time to do that. I'm sure that the community, first off, loves celebrating having you as part of the community, but also getting to know more about you. But a reminder for everybody, or actually more of an announcement, that Zane, I hear you might not be alone as a Shadow Duelist. Is this correct?
That is correct. Yes, there's going to be a whole cabal, shall we say, of masked celebrities that are going to be partaking in this amazing event. And I hope they have as much fun as I did today, because it was really fun.
Well, you heard it from Zane himself, a whole cabal of Shadow Duelists to look forward to. Season 2 of Shadow Duelist Tournament will be coming soon, so make sure you keep your eyes peeled to all of the official announcement channels. But thank you again, Zane, for coming on. Congratulations on crowning and being the first of the Shadow Duelists to give away your mask. Congratulations to the winner as well as everybody who participated. And thank you so much, everybody at home, for tuning in and being part of this incredible community. Can't wait to see you next time. Until then.